Hello, everybody. Welcome into Inside Cornerstone. Just have a conversation coming on into the show.
Yeah, hey,
Who
man.
cares that we're coming on, right?
Well, we've been so close. I figured we had time to do it.
We can just dive right in, and that's what we do.
Well, how's your day going, man?
It's outstanding.
Can we talk?
Yeah, we've turned it around a little bit, and Coach, we got a great guest over here beside you,
do.
Miss Kathy Buchanan, and so glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
It's a clown show up here sometimes with us too, but we try to keep it between the lines. But again, we're so glad to have you because we got a lot of good things that we want to talk about.
We do.
Believe it or not, with Coach and I up here. But we do want to welcome everybody into the show. Again, we want to thank everybody that watches every week. This show gives you an insight into what we have going on in our church here in Alexander City, Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church. You can keep up with us on our website at cornerstone-fgmc.org. You can also find us on Facebook out there. So many different ways to keep up with what we have going on. And of course, if you're looking for a church home, we would love to have you be part of our family here in Alexander City. And, Coach, I'll start there. Our church continues to grow. We talk about that, it seems like every week. And I don't know what the numbers were that you said last week. I can't remember, but how many new members we're approaching here this coming up year. But, man, we have grown. And Kathy's here to talk about some really cool things we've got coming up and a prayer walk that we have coming up. So I'm just going to kind of kick it over to you guys.
Well, thank you. And we have a real prayer. This is the definition of a prayer warrior right here. This girl, she prays wonderfully. She has a heart in the church for the ministry of prayer. And, everybody in the church has got their little niches,
Right.
God uses them for this and that, and it's what they do well. And her niche is to be a leader when it comes to prayer. We started an evangelism committee not long ago, and Kathy signed up for that, and one of our emphasis there was on prayer, and some things have been done. And we do want to talk about the prayer walk, Kathy, but first off, let's talk a little bit about the desire to emphasize prayer. I mean, not that Cornerstone, there's a lot of good praying going on, but we felt like there were some areas that we could really promote prayer to the church, and you've been a big part of that. And we got the little prayer rooms. Talk about the prayer rooms and what's going on there on Sundays.
Well, right now we have a prayer chapel that's in the arbor. Mm-hmm. During the 9 o'clock service, there will be somebody in there praying through that service. Of course, if anybody wants to go up there and pray or be prayed for, that's fine too. But there's a prayer guide put in that prayer chapel. Mm-hmm. It's called The Gap. For those that go to our church, that is called The Gap. It was
good name.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so somebody's in there praying the whole time. Lifting up the service, the pastor, everybody that comes and goes through those doors, because we don't know the specific needs, but we know there are many needs. Mm-hmm. So we pray in general in there. The same over on the Green Street campus, we have a newly designated room that has been undergirded with donations. Everything that has to do with that room was due to donations from people in our church. Mm-hmm. And that too goes back to a God thing. We didn't know what we were going to do, how we were going to do it, but people heard about it and wanted to be a part of it. So we are so thankful that we can say that was totally provided by people that wanted to be a part of that ministry. And during the 11 o'clock service, we're over there. Mm-hmm. Somebody's over there praying for the people in that particular service and our church. Every bit of that church is prayed for. There is a wonderful team called the Push Prayer Team that meets once a week. That's push as in pray until something happens. And so we try to glean from that all the prayer needs of our church and our community, even our state and nation and world right now, all included on that prayer list that is in both of those locations. So people are intimidated about going in. They'll say when they're talking about signing up. You know, I've never spent an hour in prayer before. It's not about you. It is about the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit enters that room, and you sit down, and you've got the materials, but over at in the gap at the arbor, it's worship. You can hear the music. They're standing up in there. There is singing a song in there. I don't know what everybody does in there as far as worshiping, but there is a sharing of that experience that the Holy Spirit leads you to. And before you know it, you are worn out from praying, and time has gone by very, very quickly.
This is one reason that God is blessing Cornerstone. I mean, you listen to. Can she do the rest of the show? Kane?
Really, I can leave
because when you're the guy that's up there doing the message, to know somebody is praying for every second that he or she is up there, that's powerful, and it works. You can feel that. All of you that have been to the Emmaus Walk before, and you hear those great talks in the conference room, you know what I'm talking about. There's a prayer chapel, and every time someone is speaking there, somebody is praying for that. But you can just see the sincerity and the commitment. It's a blessing.
You know, you and I have the privilege of doing this show every week, and we try to keep everybody attuned to everything going on in the church. But people like Kathy they're the glue of the church.
Oh, absolutely.
I really mean that, because, you know, you're so passionate about it, and, you know, selfless, and that's what prayer is. And,
absolutely.
you know, I think you said it best, Kathy. It's not about you when you go in there to pray, although it's okay to pray about things going on in your life too. Sure. But, you know, we had a Sunday school lesson several years ago, and it lasted probably 5 or 6 weeks, and it was on how to pray. Because, believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with prayer. And how to pray, and really there's a lot of people that struggle with praying in an open setting, in a public area, intimidation, worried they're going to say the wrong thing, and again, it's overthinking. I think when you get that communication line with God, it's not about what you're trying to say; it's about allowing Him to flow through you, and it's kind of what we talked about in our lesson a few years ago, and. You know, you model prayer after the Lord's Prayer. And really, you know, that kind of is, and we did a Sunday school lesson, broke down the Lord's Prayer and what every verse means and all that kind of stuff. So, but Kathy and everybody that's part of your team and what you guys do, that's what holds the church
It's
together.
the backbone of the church.
It absolutely is. And, you know, in the name of our church, the cornerstone, the strength of, you know, the two walls coming together, and, you know, we've told that story and all. But prayer really is intertwined in everything you do in church. And prayer warriors, you will hear about it all the time. There's always something that needs to be prayed for. And especially, like you said, in this day and age with our nation, our leaders, and just the direction in general. Coach and I have had this conversation many times on this show about the direction of our country and why is it going in the direction that, you know, that it is. And we feel like it's because more and more people are moving away from God, you know, and our government, you know, forcefully or not, is not promoting, or you don't have the promotion of, you know, Christ in schools anymore. It's like a challenge to get anything done. So we have to fight extra hard to get to
prayer before the football games.
Right. Things that, you know, and it all boils back to, you know, our country being founded on Christianity
and prayer.
And we have gotten away from that. And it's sad, but you know, we just got to keep fighting the good fight.
The Continental Congress got down on their knees and prayed to God for guidance as they made this country's constitution and laid the groundwork for our nation. We got something coming up, though, Kathy, that is unique. Can we talk about it?
We're going to carry this over for just a little bit.
All right, well, let's do that. Talk to us about the prayer walk. I know you're excited. I interrupted her today. She was working on the prayer walk. And I said, Kathy, can you come up here and talk about prayer today?
She was trying to pray.
And it kept her from being able to work on it. We're all excited about it. Just tell us about that.
Well, this is going to be a great time for our church. On November the 17th, we're going to have a church and family prayer walk. And that people are kind of confused about what we mean by prayer walk. We're going to have the church set up with and different stations, and those are different locations, such as the arbor, the sanctuary, the fellowship hall, the big house, the amphitheater, the children's wing, Jacob's ladder.
Areas of ministry, right?
Every area of ministry. We're going to have those rooms set up where you can go and pray with your family, pray with your Bible study group, pray with your small group, or pray by yourself if you just feel the need for that. That it needs to be one-on-one, and often that's the way it is. But you will have a prayer guide. You will be given a prayer guide where the locations are. With that prayer guide, there will be a scripture that is associated with that particular ministry. From that, there will be suggestions on when you gather with your group, different things that you could be praying for specifically for that area, people specifically, groups specifically, and there will also be a prayer reminder given to each person that comes through each of these ministries. Wow. And it'll be a reminder of either specific things for prayer, or there's a pass it on. It's a scripture that you will be getting, and you take that, and that will be something special for you, and until it's time for you to pass it on for somebody else to feel the joy that you felt in that particular area. So will be a prayer reminder in each area that you can share, and people to pray for. And we will have transportation. Some of us don't get around like we once did, and it won't be as easy to go from the big house to the arbor or up to the amphitheater. So we have arranged transportation, that golf carts. So if you don't feel that you're able to walk, or it's too far or too much walking,
Don't want to leave anybody out.
we don't want to leave anybody
awesome.
out.
And tell me if I'm wrong, the arbor starts after their Sunday school time. They'll go on their walk. And then after the Green Street service, which is over at 12, they'll go on their walk. So we've got it kind of organized where nobody's having to miss church and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah, we're just asking everybody not to visit the sanctuary until 12 o'clock.
Right.
And because there is going to be things going on, but any other place. And it is a come and go. There's a lot of people that really are adamant of going to get their lunch at 11 o'clock.
Routine.
Of course.
Yeah. So
We can have concession stands on our prayer walk.
if that's the case, go. No, just go do it, but be sure and come back, because we'll be there till 2:30 or until the last person has gone through. So we're trying to accommodate. We just think it's very important that in this day and time, families have an opportunity to pray together. Of course, your groups always pray together, but families, they pray, but not together. And we're providing the tools for them to be able to start that.
What a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
It's
And
great.
Kathy, thank you for coming today and sharing all that.
Will you come back after the prayer walk, please?
Yes.
Hold on, I got some money in my bill statement here. I mean, I would like to hear her come back and
I'd love for
share
to.
the result of this great thought.
Yeah,
And
we love to.
we want to know.
We love to hear about how things turned out.
We
you know,
do,
and
we
give
sure do.
give that word to everybody.
And this is a good thing.
Well, it would be my honor, and especially because the honor goes all back to God.
God.
That's right.
And I knew you'd say that.
Well, Kathy, thank
We
you
love
so
you.
much for being here today, and really appreciate what you do for our church. And
Thank you.
It
Thank
does
you.
not go unnoticed, I promise. And I know that you don't do it for notoriety, but it does not go unnoticed, and everybody knows what you do at our church.
The church couldn't
Very
make it
appreciated.
without
It's
it.
and it's not just me. There is
I know.
there
I know.
there are
Right.
lots of prayer warriors, and that
Right.
they undergird me. They keep me going. So
Well, thank you so much.
okay,
Thanks.
thank you,
Been,
thank
been
you.
great having
That's
you out
great.
here. All right, we're up against a break. We'll come back. We'll have more here on Inside Cornerstone.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy?
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on at our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. What a blessing to have Kathy on with us today. Always good to have guests, and we got so many great people in our church, and you and I need to do a better job of showcasing them and inviting them.
We do. I agree totally.
I was happy when you told me this morning that Kathy was going to be on with us, and because. Again, they don't do what they do for notoriety, but look, I want to recognize them. I want people, and not that people already know what they do, but it's people like Kathy and the other ones that she talked about that really are the glue to the church. I really mean that.
It's a thing that makes the church what it is. That's describing what's going on at Cornerstone. It doesn't happen without prayer.
And I've been in church my whole life, and I think you look at your life as a whole, and you kind of get in routines and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think back and think about some of the things that in times in my life where maybe I wasn't as dedicated to going to church as I should. You know, when you go off to college,
Sure.
and
Oh, yeah.
times like that, you
Of
know.
course.
But
Yeah.
but for the most part, I've been in church my whole life. My parents raised me in church, and that's just what I've known. And what a blessing it is to know that's been part of my life and the foundation. And I'll tell you this, and when we do slack, and I think everybody slacks out there at some point in time, I feel the void. I feel the emptiness, and you know, the yearning for you know, Christ and the fellowship and the friendships and the sanctity of being in church and what it means for your life and just all the great things. And I'm telling you, and I'm gonna brag on my own 2 kids for a second. They blew me away compared to what I did when I was their age. They're and this says a lot about the leaders of our church and the people that have been in charge over the years, multiple people, but what great influences we've had at our church for the last 15, 18 years. And I can speak, and I'm using this as a personal testimony of how on fire my kids are about being in church and what Christ has done for them. And, you know, I go back and I remember Braden practicing football, and you know how practice is. You know, you practice till 5:30. You know, it's starting to get dark, and it would be easy to just go to the locker room, put your stuff up. You're hot, you're tired, you can go home, take a shower.
Sure.
He would go in the locker room, put his equipment up, get into his truck as fast as he could to get to the church on Wednesday nights because he didn't want to miss youth.
That's awesome.
My daughter wakes up an hour early every morning. I hear her milling around upstairs, sometimes at 4:15 in the morning, because she's going to get up and spend about an hour reading her Bible.
That's awesome,
and again, I'm telling you, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And that's inside of you. You
Yeah,
have
it is.
but it also has been a direct response to who has been leading them and who's been in their lives. So I kind of went down this road saying thank you to Kathy, but thank you to so many great people that have been great influences on not just my children, but other children, and have raised them in a church family where they're on fire for God, and it's not gonna extinguish. And you know, I know Braden's off at college now, but you know, he's still deep in his faith, and he knows about, you know, and he yearns to come back when he can to go to church. And and I know I speak on behalf of a lot of parents and their kids that are in our church and have gone through our church, and we're just very blessed. So
I know you'll faint hearing this, but I've got a picture on my phone that I'm going to try to get Kane to show in our next segment.
Okay.
This is spur of the moment. But
If he
it's,
might pull it
it's
off,
a
it's Kane.
picture of our girls at Chick-fil-A at 7 o'clock in the
saw it.
morning. I guess that's Tuesday mornings.
Right.
And then at Hardee's, you got the guys over there.
Right.
And I mean, just there's our young people again. And it is a result of prayer in the church. And I got to go to the church I was at for 30 years in Coleman yesterday.
definitely want to talk about
I got to
that.
tell you something. It was unbelievable. I mean, I knew all these people. I mean, they're great friends of mine and stuff. And I you know, it's a Tuesday night revival service. I mean, people don't have a lot of those Sunday through Wednesday night things anymore.
right.
Well, I came in, I was in there talking to some friends. I left, and when I came back, I walked in there. I mean, the church was packed, and the same spirit. This is overwhelming. The same spirit that I feel at Cornerstone was there. It was there. It was the same thing. They were happy. They were enthusiastic. I mean, they were excited. It was a global church. A global church now, Brett, that started off tough. It was tough. I mean, you know, there wasn't many there. It was an older congregation. Guess what? A chunk of people from the First Methodist Church in Coleman, you know, when it transferred, helped them out tremendously. They're growing. They're doing things together. I looked at it and I said, there it is. I mean, that's it right there. Well, we had a blast. We got in late and I was pretty sleepy when we got home, but man, that was a high that I wasn't going to go to sleep. I mean, it was
Well, I know that
tremendous.
was special for
It
you to go back
was.
home
It was
and,
great.
and be with a lot of
Yeah.
people that mean a great deal
Yeah.
to you and Shireen.
And they're praying for us. They're
And-
praying
and
for
vi-
us. We're
and
praying
vice-
for them.
And vice versa. Well, I think
We're all on
you
the
know,
same
you
team.
just said that you walked in there and in the same spirit.
Yeah.
Well, the Holy Spirit's the same anyway.
It is.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's here or
When you
or if
feel it, you know it.
Well, or if you're over
yeah,
in,
that's right.
if you're in Australia or
That's
England, or
right.
if you're
That's
in
right.
Alexander City, Alabama,
Mhm.
it's the same. It's the same spirit. And
Mm.
again, I think you know we have a lot of fun on here and we cut up and
We
laugh.
do.
But you know, I'm being very serious about
Yeah.
talking to people out there that may be looking for a church home or they have kids that you know you're trying to find that group that you want them to be around. And you know, I was in a conversation yesterday with a good friend, and I won't go into detail about what it was about, but it was about choices, and we were talking about when we were younger in our you know middle school, high school days. Your parents raised you a certain way, and you know, but at a certain point in time, you know what right and wrong is, and you have free will in this world. God gave us free will to make choices, and you know what's right and you know what's wrong. And again, one of the situations was he had his parents sit him down, and at one point in time, and they said, you know how you can change your life with this particular thing you're going through? And he said, I don't know, what can I do? And they said, change the people you hang around. Because the people you hang around that
Great advice.
that are doing the bad things you're doing right now
Right.
are helping influence and continuing to make you want to do those things. Now, when you get with the right people,
And vice versa.
you'll start doing the right
Right.
things, and
That's
you'll
right.
want to do right.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like getting on a health kick. You know, it's tough to get up and go to the you know, the gym and maybe get on that treadmill, but once you get in a routine of doing it, you don't want to miss a day.
That's right. You
But
can't
it's the
live
har-
without it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's the point of getting over that ledge to get you going that way. But I mean, that really is the truth. So going back to our youth, when you hang out, like the reason you see 25 girls at Chick-fil-A and they're there by 7 o'clock on Tuesday morning before school, it's because they want to be around that group.
Sure.
And they want to be involved with what's going on
That's
with that
right.
group.
That's right.
You know, and so it's just as easy to go pick some people that aren't doing the right things and aren't doing.
And oftentimes that does happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but how powerful is that for others walking in Chick-fil-A or Hardee's to see that group of young people together sharing, you know, the word of Christ?
Right.
You don't know who that might touch,
That's
and you
right.
don't know who that might bring to Christ. That just happens to be coming through that particular day.
It's a blessing.
and they see that, so it's just great all the way around.
It's as good as it gets. It sure is.
We got good leaders. We, you know, again,
We do.
Appreciate Kathy. I know I've said it a few times already, but really appreciate what so many people do at our church. I mean, there's so many different things going on at our church. I mean, you know, we talk a lot about our children and our youth, but you know, our adults. I mean, there's lots of Bible studies that go on each and every week, and there's plenty of mission work projects that are going on within the church that you can be involved with if you want to do it. And we talk about Cornerstone Women, and you know, again, we're approaching very quickly the holiday season
There you
again.
go.
I mean, it
Yeah.
feels like I know I said this last week, but it really feels like yesterday we were previewing last December's calendar.
I
and look,
agree.
we're a month and a half away from doing that again.
I totally agree
So,
with that.
just man,
My flesh is going to start falling off my body the way it's going. I'm literally rotting. I mean, it's coming by so fast. I can't believe
I
it.
saw a piece fly.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
All right, we're going to take a break. Stay tuned. More to come right after
No
this.
more flesh talk.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. Hey, we're looking forward to we're trying to go through a list of future guests over here. And so we've got some surprises coming down the line. But anyway, been a great show again. The next segment we'll have a clip from our service this past Sunday, and
Who's to blame?
Who's to blame? And it was Pastor Appreciation Sunday.
It was.
So you and
know,
Shireen got to come down on the front.
Well, I
and-
sure do appreciate that. We should be doing the appreciation to everybody else, but it was awful nice, and they brought that pink bunny out there, which it's really inspiring.
the Energizer Bunny showed up.
Yeah.
And they accused you of
That's
taking
what I got called when I was the superintendent in Coleman County, so I am familiar with the phrase, but I'm not going to get in any kind of pink outfit.
No, you're not gonna dress up in the
I'm a coach.
Well,
We're gray and black and navy blue guys.
Hey, I thought your message was great Sunday, talking about
I love
who's
that
the-
scripture.
Right, and we're going to show that here in just a little bit. But
Yeah.
who's to blame? I mean, we always try to
Right now, there's a lot of blaming.
There's a lot of finger pointing.
Yeah.
You know, there's that old adage. You know, when you're pointing a finger at somebody, there's four pointing back at you. But you're going to see that here in just a little bit, and we got a little bit shorter of a segment here because we ran a little bit long in the first segment. But Kane, if you got that picture, I want to go back and be able to talk about it. Look at that. I mean, as far as you can see down that whole wall.
That's at 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 a.m. on Tuesday.
And those are all students.
It's 20 plus girls.
I think he said 25.
Yeah, I was going to say, and look, and I'll say this: Lois Ann and Micah are, man, they're great people here in Alexander City. The owners of Chick-fil-A, and man, they are, you know, they moved here to open this business, and you know, Micah is you know, going into a big project with me. If we can finally get it off the ground, but we're close.
We are,
and
we got a boys picture too.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll show the boys, and there's David, and we'll block David out right there.
There's David's hand in there,
right there in the front. So
David does a wonderful job, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you know, let's you know, as people look at that, they go, man, there's not as many boys as there are girls. This is a heavy. Girl class. This age group, we just have a lot of girls right now.
And the boys just started doing it. The girls were doing it.
No, they've been doing it.
Yeah,
they've been doing it. So, but yeah, you know, that they're growing. Yeah. And
I saw the group that went to the beach.
Right.
There's plenty of guys.
Well, I remember the girl group starting out with 5 to 7.
That's how it works.
And then you grow it out. But
and now we got the Wise Guys started, which is grades 3 through 6, and so that's going to build, and it's going to go feed right into our youth program.
Right.
That's a blessing right there.
No, but I was going to go back to Lois Ann and Micah. You know, Chick-fil-A is a restaurant that's based on Christian foundations.
It surely is.
They've held strong, and Truett Cathy.
I
had the honor to meet him.
Really? Cathy?
Truett Cathy before he passed away.
Great guy, smart guy too.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you how it happened real quick since we got off on this. At Mellow Valley Christian Academy, which is a small little, didn't even exist anymore. But I
know where you're talking
right.
about.
So when I was working with Central Alabama Community College, they had an award ceremony on a Friday night, and so in this. You know, the senior class maybe had 8 kids in it, but we were given 2 scholarships to 2 of those kids, which it's in our service area. Yeah. So I went up there to present the scholarship. So, they had us sit on the front pew of the church. It's inside the church, and they had the seniors sitting up in the choir loft, and all the speakers and the presenters were sitting on the first row. And I come in, and you know, I'm young. I mean, I'm a lot younger. This is probably 20 years ago. And I walk in and I sit down on the front, and I know some of the presenters and some of the political figures that are there. And so I'm shaking hands and talking. I sit down by this gentleman, and he's very nice, and you know, didn't introduce ourselves really, didn't say anything. He just, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm good. And you know, and it was getting time for the program to start, and he'd lean over and say something every once in a while, and he was very friendly.
He was a great guy.
But again, at this point, I don't know who he is. So we're kind of moving along with the program, and they said, well, at this time, we'd like to invite our keynote speaker up for graduation tonight, Mr. Truett Cathy, owner and CEO of Chick-fil-A. I went. And he gets up, and it's him. And I knew who Truett Cathy was. Yeah. I knew he owned, but I didn't know him. So he gets up there and he speaks. Yeah. And the reason he was there is one of his godchildren was graduating. So I don't know the connection and how all that intertwined. But he came down and sat back down, and he asked me. He said, "How'd I do?" And I said, "You did great."
I met him on a pier in Martin Lake and gave him a little crappie fishing tip.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
but he's just a regular guy. Though.
He is a regular guy. No, and to end that story real quick, I'll never forget. Before we left, you know, he was talking about why Chick-fil-A doesn't open on Sundays, and you know how much God was involved in him doing this. And but before we left, he said, "Hey, I got something I want to give you." He said he reached in, he gave me a coupon for a free chicken sandwich and an American flag pin that I still have.
Wow.
And so, but I'm again,
What a guy.
multi-billionaire, and you never would have known it. Just as humble, as nicest person.
That's
ever.
what this country was built on.
That's it right there.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So, Coach, it's been a great show. I know we're out of time. We
loved
got to
it.
get to our clip from last week. So, everybody stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Vice. Vice Motors.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service, that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tritoons and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Vice. Vice Motors.
Who's to blame? It was a logical question. During this particular time period, that is exactly what the Jews thought. People that had leprosy obviously had sinned. They'd done something in their life. People that were blind, people that were lame, they had sinned. That was the law, and that was what the people of that time believed. So let's don't get too upset at the disciples when they look at a man that was literally born blind and ask the question, whose fault is that? Who's to blame for that? Is it this man, or is it his parents? Or maybe his grandparents? It seemed kind of illogical to say that it was him that sinned because he was born this way. So the next step would be to say his parents or his grandparents, probably going back to the Ten Commandments when God says you have no graven images And if you do that, then the consequences of that will visit the second and third generations. So from that, it wasn't a dumb question that the disciples asked. Maybe it was parents. Maybe it was his grandparents. There's a lot of blame going around these days. And I would ask you to ask yourself, has there ever been a time in your lifetime when there's been more blame being placed throughout our lives? It's there. Even in the church. Even in the church that we have we play that game. And you know, being this is a little pastor day, why don't we use the pastor as an example of that? We have that little song, you know, that talks about, well, his sermon's too long, his sermon's too short. I'm not too fired up about the way he dresses when he's up there. And then the little lady says, why, he didn't even shake my hand. So it's all that kind of thing going on. There are three kinds of blamers in the world. The first are people that blame everybody else for their problems. You see, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's fault. And they will not accept any blame. Now, being a football coach, I can talk all about that blame game that goes on in the stands. I know all about it, and it still lives, by the way. When I have a play that didn't work, I get my back out and I'd say, what happened? Coach, it's the line. They didn't block. They're supposed to block in this hole, but you saw what happened. They didn't. I get the lineman out. What happened? It's the back. He didn't run in the hole. We had a nice hole for him there. And, of course, everybody in the stands is saying it's the coach's fault. It's his fault. He called that stupid play. I notice all the stupid plays, they're categorized as stupid after the play is over. When it's over, they're stupid. If it worked, it's brilliant. It's kind of easy to see how that play works after it's already been run. But everybody blames, you know, the coach, you know, we all kind of blame. But of course, do you want to unify us? Let's all get on the same page, because everybody knows it's the referee's fault. Of course, that's why we lost the game. And you know, I like to tell you that as a coach, I like to take up for this group of people. Referees are human just like us. They make mistakes, and when they do, we should be happy about it. I mean, I've always tried to be like that for officials, because I realize that as a coach, your livelihood is being determined by the men in the stripes, that make the calls. So I'm coaching a game against Vinemont High School. We're back to punt, and we snap the ball over the punter's head into the end zone. You with me? The punter picks the ball up, takes 5 or 6 steps, heaves the ball over his shoulder into the field of play, which is caught by a wide receiver, and he runs to the 30-yard line. And the official throws his flag in the end zone and says, we got a penalty on West Point for intentional grounding. I said, sir, how can you possibly call? The ball never hit the ground. And you're going to call intentional grounding? Coach, that kid didn't know that receiver was there. What does that have to do with it? If he caught the ball and it never hit the ground, we're going to get a safety for that? And he said, Coach, you need to go back to the sideline. Everybody knows it's the official's fault. And I did that same thing in a group of officials one time. I'm lucky I got out alive. One of the best seasons I ever coached in, though, was a season in which our own players came up with a phrase, and it was no excuses, no regrets. I love that. where nobody makes any excuses for their failure, where everybody takes responsibility for things that happen that they may have been a part of. So that when we walk off the field, there's not any regrets. We did the best that we could, and we're not going to make any excuses. And they put a sign down there as you go onto our field, and when we practiced down there or played, and every player would hit that sign. No excuses, no regrets. Now, that was a good group of athletes. And I don't think it's it's certainly not coaching, but it was no accident that they were the first undefeated team in Coleman County. They were a really, really good team. But I think at the basis of their team and the basis of a business and the basis of a family and the basis of the church is that everyone takes responsibility for their decisions and their goof-ups. They take responsibility for it. Instead of placing blame on someone else or somebody else, something that's serious stuff. Jesus went to a man that had been laying beside the pool of Bethsaida for 38 years. He lay there beside a pool that was supposedly had waters that would cure disease. And yet he had never been in there before. 38 years. And Jesus walks up to him, and the first thing that Jesus asked him, do you want to be healed? His answer was, oh, Master, you don't understand the situation at all. It's not that I don't want to be healed. It's that people get in there before I do and stir the waters, and by the time I can get in there, the waters have stopped. And nobody helps me. When I have the opportunity to get into the waters, there's nobody there to really help me. That's why I've never got in the pool. That's why I've never been cured. And Jesus looks at him and says, take up your bed and walk. And he picks up his bed, and after 38 years, he walks with no excuses and no regrets. It happens sometimes in our school system. We've got teachers in here, and I think we've got some fantastic and wonderful parents. And the first thing we need to do, whether it be Jacob's Ladder or our school system, is to let the parents know how much we care for their children. But the teachers in here would say that it's not like it used to be. When a student made a mistake and the parents come into the office and they look at you and say, I want to thank you right now for disciplining my child and give them to me right now, and I start doing my job too. And we work together on it because we're trying to make a difference in that child or sometimes that teenager's life. And we've kind of evolved into a thing where this blame game goes on in our school system. And if a kid, we got teachers in here because they're nodding, because when something happens, and kids are going to make mistakes just like everybody else. But to make excuses for them is not helping them. To blame somebody else for that, it's all about accepting responsibility for what we do.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
The good guys at Alex City Marine are ready for your boating needs all summer. And now you can get up to $4,500 in rebates on our huge selection of new Landau Tri-Tunes and sacrifice pricing on remaining 23 models. Alex City Marine also has a new fleet of rental boats for fabulous days on the water, whether it's service, new pontoon selections, or rental boats. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine on Cherokee Road in Alexander City or online at alexcitymarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy. Hey everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy?
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on in our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.